what's going on, everybody? This is Mr. Fleming, your social studies teacher, and this is actually my father, Mr. Fleming Sr.
That's me. Hello, everybody.
We are here at Old Bethpage Restoration, and we're very, very privileged today to be watching Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders. Behind me, right here they come. Theodore Roosevelt was the assistant to the Secretary of the Navy, basically second in command of the U.S. Navy. His boss, the man in charge of the Navy, was on vacation. War breaks out between the U.S. and Spain because Teddy Roosevelt made the call. He got on the telegraph and told Admiral Dewey over in the Pacific, go ahead, bomb the Spanish Navy in the Pacific. Did he have the authority to do that? Nope.
It was your appointment, was he not?
Oh, I had a hand in it.
And it was your plan that had him coal his warships and be ready to sail for Manila Bay?
Secretary Long was on vacation in New England.
And you took the initiative?
I suppose so. But that Commodore Dewey was like a wolfhound slipped from the leash, wasn't he, Leonard?
I suppose he was, Theodore. And Roosevelt is like a young second lieutenant. Often overreaching, frequently insubordinate, brash, but successful. This time, don't try it with me.
Yes, sir.
Now, I leave for San Antonio tomorrow morning. But Theodore, we will not get to Cuba unless we have Krag smokeless repeating carbines. Don't come to San Antonio without them. Do I make myself clear?
Precisely, sir.
Oh, and one more thing. The regiment has been expanded. You may bring your Fifth Avenue contingent.
Oh!
Hamilton Fish's mother should be delighted.
Bully!
Colonel! I didn't catch that salute.
Sir!
What does he do next? He resigns from his position as assistant to the Naval Secretary. He resigns, he quits the Navy. And then starts his own regiment in the U.S. Army to go to Cuba and fight the Spanish. So he kind of helped to start the Spanish-American War and then goes to fight the Spanish after war has been declared by him. And he starts to contact all of his old friends, college buddies, cowboys he met when he was in the Dakotas, like all these guys that he knew through his whole life, Indian fighters from the Southwest, all these ragtag, wild young men that he met growing up. He writes to them and says, hey, you want to go fight the Spanish with me? Starts his own private regiment called the Rough Riders.
Didn't get too far, did you? Somebody catch you?
Gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Roosevelt.
Theodore. Woodbury King, is that you? It's good to see you doing a hard day's labor for a change. Leonard! Leonard, I'm here!
Can you see out of them glasses? I wouldn't question his vision, gentlemen. He thrashed a man in the Dakotas for calling him Four Eyes.
Thrashed the fella?
Thrashed.
I love grits. My mother was a Southerner. She used to make grits every morning. When we were good and not misbehaving, she'd make us cheese grits. I obtained sufficient Krag rifles and ammunition for our regiment, sir.
Because I knew you would, Theodore.
They'll be on the train tomorrow with the uniforms and the rest of my baggage.
Rest of your baggage? I'll see that wagons and mules are standing by.
I had a bit of a problem with the older general. They recommended that we use Springfield rifles with black powder. They said we could hide behind the smoke. Imagine that! I told them this regiment won't be hiding. Will it, sir?
Theodore, did you get any sleep?
Oh, Leonard! I had my tailor at Brooks Brothers make this uniform for me. What do you think?
Well, I think it's...
Splendid! I had one prepared for you as well. This is bully.
We were a cavalry troop, but because there was no room on the troop ships, we had to leave the horses behind. The only one that brought horses was Teddy Roosevelt, and the way they unloaded the horses was to jump off the ship and swim ashore. Unfortunately, one of Teddy Roosevelt's horses was directionally confused and he went the wrong way. So he came aboard. He came ashore with one horse, and the iconic issue with the event that took place in Cuba was the Rough Riders charged up Kettle Hill and San Juan Hill, where they, with other groups, overcame the Spaniards and ultimately drove the Spaniards out of the New World.
What? Where is everyone? Tiffany! Tiffany's dead, sir! Tiffany? Where is anybody? What are you doing? You want me to go alone? Have you all turned cowards? We didn't hear you, sir!
Honest, we didn't hear you, sir! We're sorry, Colonel!
Well, come on! Into your bed!
The Spanish-American War also involved Cuba as well as the Philippines and Guam, where the Spaniards were driven out of the New World, and America became a world power at that point.
That's right. The American Empire, born in 1898, right?
Exactly. Sorry, I left out the year.
It was said, he
Theodore Roosevelt was born too late for the Civil War, and growing up, like Mr. Fleming was saying, he wanted to be a part of something. He actually invented this war, basically. If you think about it, he invented a war just so he could participate in the war. That's basically what he wanted, because he was afraid he might never ever get the chance.
His father was a draft dodger.
They paid $300
right
to get out of the draft.
Yeah, in the Civil War, if you had $300, which today is a lot of money,
$30,000.
if you had the money, you could pay someone to take your place and fight in the Civil War. So Roosevelt, he loved his father. Like, he idolized his father, loved him. But that was the one thing he was always ashamed of, is that his father, he kind of felt it was cowardly. So now, this is his chance. I'm going to start my own regiment. I'm going to fight the Spanish. I'm going to live this adventurous lifestyle that my father never had.
It was you may frown upon it, but that certainly took a lot of nerve to throw yourself into a war. And it wasn't just, you just didn't hide behind, a desk or a bunker. He was on a horse with the rest of his men, charging down San Juan Hill with bullets whizzing by his head.
Spanish.
Say Mr. Fleming, but didn't they also train in Long Island on the East End?
I believe when the war was over,
Okay.
there was an epidemic of yellow fever.
That's right.
So to quarantine the soldiers, they had them wait at Camp Wyckoff, which is in Montauk Point. In Montauk Point, when the war was over, they couldn't go back to Manhattan. They had to make sure all the soldiers were healthy.